welcome back to another DIY session with me. And in today's video, guys, we are going to be sewing this dress on your we are seeing on your screen. So it is super easy and it is beginners friendly. So beginners, another something for you. So guys, I was actually taking a class with my student and we were talking about the handkerchief and I saw this dress and I was like, wow, this is just superb. So and I decided, okay, let's do it and let's share it with the YouTube villagers. So guys, let's go right into it. So I'm going to be making use of this fabric. So I have roughly 3 yards here. I have 3 yards here. So and my fabric is double length, which is by 60. So now the first thing I'm going to do, you need to take your measurement, your gown length, your back measurement, your armpit, your waist, your bust circumference. Those measurements are very, very, very important. And once that is done, now remember I said I'm having close to 3 yards here. Now here's my self edge now. Here's my self edge. I'm having close to 3 yards. So I'm going to, the total yard of the fabric is 3 yards, which means I'm going to firstly divide it into two, which makes it 1.5, 1.5. Can you see what I have here now? I hope you can see how I place it on fold. So which is 1.5, 1.5 on each side. Now once that is done, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead, bring it down this way. Okay, now this part is the part is on fold, and I'm going to place it on fold one more time. So now easily give me my front and my back, everything all together here. So I hope you guys understand what we are doing here. So I'm trying to cut the front and the back at the same time. So now once that is done, now this is it. Now one thing I want you to understand is for this type of dress, it's not compulsory that you have an opening for zip. Is it unfold, my fabric unfold. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to start placing all my measurements on the fabric. Now the first measurement I'm working with is my back measurement. My back measurement is 15 divided by 2. I have 7.5. So I'm going to add half to it, which makes it 8. I'll mark the point. Now once that is done, I'll go ahead. For my bust line, I use 8.5. I'm still going to use the same 8.5, which means I'm measuring 8.5 inches. So I'm measuring 8.5 inches from my top line. So I'm just going to mark it. I'll come here to extend the 8.5 inches a little bit to the front, and that's it. Now once that is done, I'll go ahead and connect it this way. I hope you guys can see. Now once that is done, I've got extended the line. I'm now going to go ahead and bring this line up to have my vertical line as well. Now once that is done, the next thing I'm going to do is to come to the top back, measure, come down by 1 inch. Okay, then get your neck point. So mine, I'm going to work with 3 inches. So you connect your neck point to your shoulder point now. So the 3 inches works for almost all the body. So if you use the same 3 inches with me, you are good to go. Okay, so aside in a few cases where you are working with petite, so that's when you might need to reduce it. Probably you use 2.5 or 2.75. So now once that is done, the next thing we are going to do now is go ahead, shape the neck. So for my neck, I'm going to be using the same 3 inches by 3 inches. I'll mark the two. I'll mark 3 by 3 because there is a little twist that I'm still going to do here. So 3 by 3, this is it. I'm going to go ahead and shape it. Then I'll mark the same 3 by neck depth of 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shape it. So if you want your neck to be wider, you can use up to 4, 5. You understand? It depends on what you want. Now, once that is done, I'm going to come here and place my bust measurement. My bust measurement is 40, which divided by 4, we have 10. So I'll measure my 10. So you can add nothing less than 2 inches. That's your ease. You can add more than that, but note that nothing less than 2 inches. That's your ease. Okay. Now the next thing is to measure my half length. My half length measurement is 17. Now At that point, I'll bring my waist circumference. My waist circumference is 32. Divided by 4, we have 8. So I'll add extra 2, which makes it 10. Now, depending on what you want, you could actually use what you have on your waistline, bring it out to your, on your bust line, you bring it out to your waistline. I hope you understand, because it's meant to be a free dress. So you can bring what you have on your bust line down to your waistline, or you can just maintain your actual measurement. So if I'm maintaining my actual measurement, I'm just going to go ahead. But for me, at times I love to add more, so that this place gives the, now I'm having 11 and a half here, which is almost the same thing now, you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and now connect. So at the waist I used 3 inches as my seam allowance and my ease. Now once that is done, at this point now, if your gown length, let's say your gown length is 44, let's go ahead and measure that 44. Very, very important. So my gown length is 44 inches. I'm going to mark the 44 here. I'm going to come here, measure and mark the same 44 inches. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect it on a straight line. Okay. Now, next thing I'm going to do now is this. Subtract is going to be a little bit calculation, or you can just submit it. So, but one thing about this line that I want to create is you must make sure that it is long enough, because you don't want it to be too short. It should be long enough, at least to where you are comfortable for it to drop on your body. Now what I have here is 18 and a half, which for me is okay, because 18 and a half here plus the 17 and a half here, that's closely 35 and a half, or 36, which is okay for the short length of the gown. It's okay for me. I hope you understand. So if you have nothing less than 18 like this, aside if you are making a mini gown, then you can do less. So I'm going to go ahead now, connect this point on a straight line. So it's more like I'm extending my waistline all the way out. More like I'm extending it all the way out. So now, what I'm just going to do, let's go ahead and shape the armhole. Let's go ahead and shape it. So I'm just going to, now then we are good to go. We can go ahead now and cut it out. So to cut it out, I'm going to cut the back neckline first. So once you cut out the armhole, remember I said you only cut the shaping for the back neck first. You go ahead. Now I'm going down to the waistline, right? I'm going to follow that straight line we created here on the waistline. I'm going to follow it here. Okay, so we are going to set this aside. Then we cut the excess at the end. Now once that is done, we are going to come to this side here. So I need you to be careful. So for me, there is a little excess here, so I'm just going to cut it off. So when you work with this, make sure it's a fabric that will drape. So once we are through, this is automatically what we are going to have. I hope you can see what I'm doing now. So it has to be a fabric that drapes, so that this one will be able to drop. Like you can see the video, so that this one will be able to drop. Then this one give it that lengthy effect. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut the front neckline. So I'm going to remove this. Then I'll bring this way, so I can cut the front neckline. So if you feel the 3 is too small, you can go ahead and cut it. Just make sure you do your, okay, and that's it. So now guys, once we are done, placing one unfolds now. This is the front. So there's something I need to show you here. We are going to shape the M. When you look at it, the M to at the center front looks shorter. So it simply means that, remember I said you use length 44. So at this point you can come up, it depends, right? So you can come up by 4 inches here. Can you see? 4 inches here. Then I'll connect it using my straight ruler out to the edge of the other side. To the edge of the other side. The other side that won't be reducing it, that's at the side seam. This is the center front. So at the center front, you come up by 4 inches and you connect it back to the edge of the other side, which this is what I'll do. So I'll just be cutting it out this way. So I'm going to move it closer so that you can see. This is it. I hope you can see. So this is it now. I just came up here by 4. This is it. I just came up here by 4 and connected it to this point here, and that's it. So I'll repeat the same thing too for the M at the back. So make sure that every part align. That is very, very important. All the parts must align. And I'll connect it using the same straight ruler back to the edge here. Now, once that is done, that is it. Now, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'll connect the shoulder together, join the shoulder together. Once I'm done, then I'll join this side here, from here, here, then all the way out. Let me say it again. Join the shoulder of each. This is the back now. I'll go ahead. For me, like I said, I'm going to put a slit there. So mine is going to have a slit at the back. So this is where my button is going to be sitting. The slit is so that it allows me to be able to wear it comfortably. And if you want to fix a zip there, go ahead and do so. But for me, I'm just going to use a slit. It's at the back, not at the front. So I'm just going to go ahead, join my shoulder together, the front and the back shoulder piece together. Then I'll join the side and this longer length. So this is what I'm saying. You can see this is the front now. So I'll go ahead, join the shoulder together. Then I'll join the side, side to side. Then I'll join this to this too. So shoulder to shoulder, side to side. Shoulder to shoulder, this point A and point B. You stop here. Don't join the other side. You don't need that. So let's go ahead and do that. So guys, when you are done, you can see what we have. Look at the length. You see that it's giving the effect as it should. So you can go ahead, fix your sleeve the way you would love to, and do everything. So this is it. So guys, do not forget to share your practicals. I'll love to see yours, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.